Hi, I'm Sara Lynn, a self-proclaimed neat freak, conquering clutter one space at a time. And today I'm sharing tips for tidying up the garage. Now, the garage might not be the most stylish place in the home, but for this large, busy family, it is absolutely essential. It stores everything from gardening equipment to recreational gear to trash bins and even the car from time to time. With so much traffic in and out, it's easy to understand how this space got a little out of control. These homeowners asked for my help to turn this space from tumultuous to tidy. Here's how I got things sorted. Now, I believe the first key to organizing any garage is to get things up and off the floor. So in this space, I created a number of vertical storage solutions to really maximize space, starting with this amazing slat wall. Now, you usually find slat walls like this in retail stores, but all of the materials used to make them are readily available at your hardware store. It's really important when installing your slat wall to anchor it securely because, of course, it's going to be storing quite a few heavy items. Next, let's talk shelving. Now, when it comes to shelving in a garage, nothing beats these sturdy metal shelves. They used to be pretty pricey, but now can be found quite inexpensively at most big box stores. I love using them to store everyday items, things like tools, car cleaning accessories. I've even created a shelf here for emergency items like a serger and car starter. As you can see, I've left everyday items like driveway salt super accessible on the lower shelves and then put less used items up on the upper shelves. Most importantly, everything is grouped by category and contained within its own basket or bin. When it comes to organizing the garage, hooks can be your best friend. I used hooks in this case to hang everything from shovels to rakes to ladders. That way you leave more floor space for things that can't be hung, like the snowblower. Bikes and other recreational gear can take up a lot of space in the garage, and leaving those items on the ground can lead to them being easily damaged. Instead of investing in an expensive wall-mounted bike rack, you can go ahead and hang your bikes from hooks from the ceiling. You'll just need to ensure that they are properly secured into a stud so they can withhold the weight. This is a really inexpensive way to keep your bikes up off the floor and looking pristine. Another great solution for storing sporting gear like hockey sticks is this amazing DIY pallet storage. Now, if you're not familiar with pallets, usually large deliveries made to things like big box and hardware stores are made on pallets. So they're often looking to offload them to customers like you. To mount these, I simply flip them on their side and screw them into the wall, and they are perfect for storing things like hockey sticks. Finally, for storing miscellaneous sporting gear like footballs and golf balls, I opted for these inexpensive toy storage bins that can usually be found at the dollar store. They make the gear really easy to access and also easy to put away. This family loves to camp, so they had a ton of camping gear laying around, things like tents and chairs. I wanted to organize them all together, so I just purchased a large oversized basket and tucked everything away. Cords and cables management might not sound like glamorous work, but getting those organized goes a long way to reducing visual clutter in a space like this. Plus, it ensures that your cords aren't all tangled when you need them. Now, I've spent a lot of time working in film and television and picked up a few really handy tips from the grips on how to wrap a proper cable. Basically, you want to get it as compact as possible in a circle and then use some double-sided Velcro to secure it. If it's a larger quarter cable, you can go ahead and use pieces on either side. That way, things stay very neat and tidy. Smaller items like extension cords can be wrapped and stored in their own individual bags. I use these mesh laundry bags from the dollar store and then labeled everything accordingly. Get it? Accordingly. This homeowner loves her gardening, so I wanted to create an area where she could store all of her supplies together. I've used crates on the lower two shelves to store potting soil and pea gravel, and then the top shelf is being used to house all of her tools. I wanted the garden hose to be contained, but also really portable so that it could be easily transported into the garden for watering. To do that, I bought this handy metal bin. It's large enough to fit the whole garden hose, and all I did was drill a few holes in the bottom to help with drainage. To make it extra portable, I actually purchased this simple stand with wheels. Now, these are traditionally used for moving garbage cans around, but they worked really well for this purpose. When I first started sorting through this garage, I came upon a couple of items that actually had to be rehoused because the garage didn't present ideal conditions for them to be stored. Things like paint, for example, should never be stored in the garage because temperature fluctuations throughout the year can cause curdling or separation. Other items that are big no-nos in the garage are things like photographs and important documents. Pests love paper, so it's important not to give them anything to feed on or to use as a nest. If you are going to store these items in the garage, it is essential that they be in an airtight container. And there you have it, a neat and tidy garage, perfect for storing all of your outdoor essentials. Oh, and the car. I hope these tips inspire you to get into the garage this weekend and get organized. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.